So the internet's a very big place. There's a lot of things that I've not heard about. There are a lot of people I don't know about. And James Corden was one of those people for a very long time. Now, I consider myself a very blessed individual for not knowing about him up until this point. I don't know when it happened or how, but it just happened. It was like a memory that just popped into my head. It was like, oh yeah, James Corden, that guy that's extremely popular for some reason that I'm really unaware of. That's who James Corden is to me. I don't know why he was popular. I don't know who he was making laugh. Definitely wasn't me, but he was apparently all over the internet. He was a really well-known figure by the fans of zero. You can't look at anything James Corden related without being hate related, and it's for a very good reason, and the whole reason I'm even making this video. So the reason I give you that little story at the beginning was just to catch you up to speed that I'm not really a big James Corden fan or even knew who he was, but the reason I know why he exists is because everybody hates him. And I'm pretty sure it's the same reason everybody else knows about him. It's because he's a hated guy. So to catch you up to speed on the lore, about a couple weeks ago, James Corden was pretty much roasted and put into the public light for how much of a douchebag he is and how he can be a really big asshole. And it was due to a post that a restaurant owner made that was detailing his experience with Mr. Corden himself. So he originally starts off by saying James Corden is a hugely gifted comedian. That lost me there. When I originally read that, that was the most delusional statement I've ever said. I have not seen a single person in my entire life that's like, oh, have you seen James Corden? That man is funny as fuck. Oh my God. He got me, just belly aching. I love watching this talk show. No, there's not a single person I've ever met that has said that at all. Now, maybe the restaurant owner was trying to be nice and make it sound not as harsh as he was trying to be, but that's a big no for me, dog. That's a fucking false statement right there. And then he continues saying, but a tiny cretin of a man and the most abusive customer to my Baltazar servers. I apologize if I said that wrong. Since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. So essentially where the story's going is the restaurant owner pretty much said, hey, I banned James Corden. He's a douchebag. I don't want him in my restaurant, and this is why. And so the restaurant owner first claimed Corden demanded freebies and threatened the eatery with a bad review after finding a hair in his food back in June. After eating his main course, Corden showed his hair to the manager, G, who was very apologetic. He wrote alongside a snap of the comedian, Corden was extremely nasty to G and said, get us another round of drinks this second and also take care of all of our drinks so far. This way, I won't write any nasty reviews in Yelp or anything like that. In another incident that happened October 9th, McNally claimed that the comedian lashed out at his staff after the dish his wife, Julia Carey, ordered was not prepared to her liking during brunch. And so pretty much the next couple paragraphs is about Corden going back to the restaurant for another time to eat and that his wife ordered a meal, but she didn't get the exact correct items. It said that Corden began yelling like crazy to the server, you can't do your job, you can't do your job, maybe I should go into the kitchen and cook the omelet myself. And then pretty much it just concludes by saying that the server shouldn't take this type of abuse and that it's already hard as it is working in a food restaurant. So I get it, you get food, you got a piece of hair in it and it's like, oh, this is kind of fucking mood ruiner. And you know what, it is what it is. I get it. It's one of those things where it's like, well, this is nasty. This is gross. I didn't want hair in my food. They should be a little bit better on how they do it. But at the same time, I don't think it gives you one of those become a douchebag cards where it gives you a free pass to just act like a dick to people and start, oh, I'm gonna leave your place a bad review. You're gonna set me up right or else I'm gonna fuck up your business. I mean, again, it's a hair in the food, yes, it's bad, but it's something that can be remedied pretty easily and you just move on with your life. And then for the second order, I get it. They messed up the order first time and then they messed it up again the second time. That's kind of a bad look. It's like you're a restaurant, you're having people that are big names, rich actors, or whoever else is going there. You're kind of held to like a high standard. I mean, any food place should be to begin with, but you kind of know what comes with the territory when you're like at that top of a level, like you have eyes watching you. It would be like going to a restaurant where Chef Ramsay's there himself and he fucks up your order like 3 times. You're going to be kind of livid and kind of pissed because you know the reputation that is held to the restaurant itself. And like I said, I get it, right? You're upset, you're pissed, but that doesn't give you a right to start yelling and being a literal dick in front of everybody to just people who are trying to do their job and trying to do it to the best of their ability. To me, that's unacceptable. And to me, coming from someone who used to work in the food environment, the worst thing you could ever deal with for people who want to make your life as hard as possible, and you're trying to make sure that people are set right and that you're trying to do good by them and give them exactly what they order, what they want, and you're trying to do it the best you can. And so from there, normally you think a good ending, James Corden apologizes, which he did, but it doesn't end there. And the worst part about that is after James Corden apologized, the restaurant owner revoked his ban, which in my personal opinion is stupid. I would keep James Corden banned. Obviously, he was a fucking douchebag. He's an asshole. Just because he apologized doesn't mean he gets a free get out of jail card and come on back. Because what's to say he won't do it again? And you know what the funny thing is? James Corden continues to show how much of a douchebag he is. And so in an interview done with Corden regarding the incident, the man said he did nothing wrong at all, that is beneath him. It's not a big deal. And it's not even worth his time. I'm so appalled at this, that someone could just do shit like this and just be like, I'm not wrong. It's all right. It's not a big deal. As he said in the interview, I feel so zen about the whole thing because I think it's so silly. I just think it's beneath all of us. It's beneath you. It's certainly beneath your publication. And then as I read more of this, I really wish the restaurant owner would just have a little bit more, I guess, confidence in himself or just pride and not try to appeal to Corden in any way, shape, or form. This is just the one part that stood out to me. I was just like, you don't really need to do this. He said, if the supremely talented actor wanted to retrieve the respect he had from all his fans, all 4 of them before this incident, that he should at least admit he did wrong. If he goes one step further and apologizes to the 2 servers he insulted, I'll let him eat for free at my restaurant for the next 10 years. And then Corden said, I think I'm probably going to have to talk about it on the Monday show. My feeling often is never explain, never complain, but I'll probably have to talk about it. And I mean, I really don't know who watches this show to begin with, but I guess people are going to be tuning in, you know, looking forward to watching that. Now, I think for anyone who's been keeping up with the story and just watching the lore, that I think it's pretty safe to say, I don't think it's a hot take to say that Corden should stay banned and that the restaurant owner should tell him to go fuck himself. There is no reason to appeal to Corden or even try and make him sound like he's anything better than what he really is, which is nothing. I feel like the owner is trying to stay as neutral as possible, but trying to hold Corden as accountable as possible. Now, I will say maybe he was being sarcastic and it just didn't land on me. You know, say a supremely talented actor, you know, a super gifted comedian. Maybe these are some really sarcastic lines that he was trying to deliver that just didn't quite land on me. But if he was being serious, I hope to God he wasn't. To me, if it wasn't sarcasm, I just see it as a way of him trying to be as neutral as possible, but just keep Corden as accountable as possible at the same time so that he doesn't go full on attack mode and tries to keep a bridge there so he doesn't burn it completely, which in my opinion, I say go for it, dog. Burn that fucking bridge. If you're going to have someone that's that much of a douchebag to you, apologize and then rescind it and say, I didn't really need to apologize. It wasn't worth my time. I was never in the wrong. You couldn't prove anything. I was clearly the good guy in this entire situation, and you're trying to make me look bad. Someone did that, I would tell him go fuck himself and move on with my life. I wouldn't try and give him a sweet offer. I wouldn't be like, oh, if you come and do this, you can come eat at my restaurant. You can even do it for free. To me, it just comes off as the restaurant owner lacking determination to fully see through and just ban James Corden for good and just say, I don't want nothing to do with you. You come apologize to my servers. That's cool. I'll respect that, but you're not coming back in. And that you have pretty much already burned the bridge that used to be there. That I think is acceptable. I think that is fine. But to try and find this middle ground and try and still appeal to Corden to come back to the restaurant and unban him after all the shit he's done up to this point, to me, I think that's just silly and there's no reason for it. I say hold your ground. There's no reason to appeal to a douchebag like that. But again, I just want to talk about this. I think Corden is a fucking douchebag, asshole, whatever creative words you can come up with. Don't even know how he became popular to begin with, but the unfortunate reality is that he is popular, so we're going to keep hearing about him in one way, shape, or form on the internet. Anyway, that's all I got for you. If you made this far to the video, consider giving it a like and subscribing. Leave a comment below on what you think. Have a great day. Yeah.